Hi everyone, this is Sasha. As some of you know, I'm a big believer that marketing has to pay for itself fast. This is often achieved with SEO rankings. This way, our clients have time to dial in their processes while growing over the course of 3, 6, 12 months, etc. With that said, some of our clients require greater scale of leads or need results sooner. This is where advertising comes in. In today's video, we will cover some of the biggest questions when it comes to advertising and how it fits in the internet marketing system. Consumer decision journey model here describes how prospects move from discovering your business over here to making a purchase here. Thanks to various tactics that advertising has to offer, it can fit into multiple different steps inside the consumer decision journey. It can fit over here by getting you in front of hyper-relevant audiences, people that are actively considering products and services just like yours. Advertising can also fit over here between steps 2 and 3 by getting your business in front of visitors that have already been to your website and indicated that they're interested by taking certain actions. Advertising can also fit over here on the purchase step. This often applies to businesses that have a longer consideration stage. In previous videos, we discussed that internet marketing system has to pay for itself. But it does take some time to start generating those returns. And because advertising requires a substantially bigger investment, we often postpone it until you make enough money with SEO so you can reinvest what you've already made as opposed to making a bigger investment upfront. The table here shows you how advertising is compared to SEO on the budget side of things. I will walk you through the math in depth, but the first thing that is different between SEO and advertising is that you can see how budget in SEO is relatively smaller. Let's say you're paying $1,500 to your agency to run your advertising or to run your SEO. Your additional budget for SEO would be at around $500, while advertising will require about $2,000 investment on top of the agency hours. In this hypothetical example, you can see that we're talking about $2,000 here and about $3,500 over here. But of course, some of our clients are looking to generate bigger returns faster. So they are willing to invest more money upfront in order to generate more leads. Personally, I'm a big fan of scaling the business slower and starting with SEO. We see this with our clients all the time. Some of them don't have their process dialed in yet. Others don't have capacity to handle 100 leads per week. For others, there's just plenty of opportunity with SEO, and so they don't need to shift to the ads just yet. This way, clients that start slower get an opportunity to build their processes, hire more people if they need to, and solve problems like missed calls, leads that are not followed up with, or low closing ratios. All of these are required to scale further. Quite frankly, our internet marketing system addresses some of these issues as well. And it doesn't matter from our perspective if the client goes for SEO or advertising, because we have those solutions preset and we're happy to implement them whenever the client needs us to. In this hypothetical example, we're comparing SEO to advertising. In both cases, we imagine to get you in front of 1,000 people. In case with the SEO, we expect about 10% click-through rate, depending on where you are in search results. Results 1, 2, and 3 generally get a lot more clicks. Results 4, 5, 10 get less. In case with advertising, we estimate the clicks to be at around 20%. So you do get more clicks, but you also pay for them. If your closing ratio for advertising and SEO is the same, then you'll get 7 and 14 leads respectively. With your overage check estimated to be at around $2,500, this means that SEO will bring you $17,000 in return, while advertising is estimated to give you $35,000 in return in this equation. This way, your return on investment from SEO and from advertising will be comparable at around 9 times here and about 10 times here. But of course, this depends on the details. This depends on your industry. This depends on your overage check. This also depends on the cost of click. which we'll discuss later in this video. Another common question that we get from the clients is how much budget do they need to start the ads? And this is definitely a barrier to entry in advertising. Imagine launching a new paid search campaign. Let's look at two scenarios here. In scenario number one, you have $500 budget. In scenario number two, you're looking at $2,000. Let's say click in your industry is at around $10 per click. This means that you will get around 50 clicks in this case and 200 clicks in this one. Let's say your click to call conversion rate is at 20%, which is going to be the case in both cases. And this will give you 10 calls in the first case, and in the second scenario, you'll get 40 calls total. In both cases, you'll be closing 35% of your calls. In the first scenario, this is estimated to give you 3.5 clients total, while in the second one, we're looking at 13 clients. Now, let's look at the optimization part. When we optimize paid search campaigns, we'll look at different dimensions. We'll be looking at what devices perform best and what time of day, what locations and keywords, and perhaps audiences. Our goal here is to determine that a personal injury lawyer is more likely to get a phone call from downtown Toronto on midnight on Friday as opposed to Wednesday afternoon. But in order to optimize, we need to have enough data. Let's look at the keyword example. We estimated that in the first case, we'll be getting about 4 leads total. And let's say in this example, 3 of those leads will be coming from the first keyword, and then 1 will be coming from the second keyword. This is not enough data for us to optimize the campaigns. That's because we cannot be certain that tomorrow this keyword will not get an additional lead, and this way we'll be at very similar position with the keyword 1. However, if we look at the second example, you can see that we're talking about 14 leads total. You can see that first keyword got us 10 leads, while the second keyword got us only 4. This way, a difference in cost per lead is fairly significant. We can say that if we wanted to keep the keyword number 2, we should decrease our bid by over 50%. And in the first case, this is simply not the case. We just don't have enough data, and so we cannot be certain that we're making a correct decision. And the problem with optimizations is that you have to do it all the time because your competition and their bids change every day. And so what is effective today may not be effective tomorrow. And so the more data you have from this perspective, the better you can make those decisions. $500 budget that we discussed here is simply not enough in order to optimize your campaigns and be competitive in your market. Another question we get all the time is what ad types exist and which ones are better. Of course, each type of advertising has its benefits and work in certain scenarios. Here's a couple of common ones. Number 1, search advertising. This is one of my personal favorites. When you do paid search, you don't try to find the right people. The right people find you. Prospects that are searching for products and services just like yours go on Google and show their intent by searching for those products and services. So the chance of closing someone like this is higher. Keep in mind that on Google search, you are paying for every click that you get. And while Google is pretty good at preventing click fraud, and there's some software that we use to prevent that as well, you are still not 100% protected from competition clicks, for example. Number 2, and this is my second favorite, Google local service ads. You may have seen these in some industries in Canada. These are also widely available in the US. The deal is you only pay for the leads that you get. You can dispute bad leads as well. It's a very fair deal. So if it's available in your industry, this may be a very good opportunity for your business. Third favorite ones, Facebook and Instagram ads. These platforms present a whole different universe. Instead of people coming to you, you find the right people yourself. Facebook has a degree of visibility into people online, what pages they view, what websites they visit, where they convert into leads, etc. Based on this information, Facebook puts together audiences, people that are interested in X, Y, or Z. You pay Facebook to get in front of those audiences and hopefully convert them into leads. Best for last. What channels do we recommend? And I want to say this. Every one of channels we discussed works really well. They have their own specifics and their purposes. One channel may be 10% more expensive, while another one will be 10% less expensive in one industry. For the other industry, it may be the other way around. So my recommendation here is to find the right combination for your business. This will give you an optimal cost per lead and the optimal quantity of leads as well. To summarize, our big belief is that your marketing has to pay for itself. There is, however, the first few months when you will get some results, but they won't be as good as 3 to 6 months in. Because SEO requires smaller investment upfront, this is oftentimes our preferred channel. However, advertising is incredible for scaling and it can do it fast. In some industries, we may start with advertising because clients need to get more results faster. Or maybe the client is willing to invest more upfront. However, I'm a big believer that scaling slow is the right way to go, as it gives you an opportunity to get everything right for your business, dial in your process, hire more people, etc. As always, if you found this video useful, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so you never miss another video. I hope this video was useful, and I will see you in the next one.